Space. And how about Power Rangers Lost Galaxy? Two of the coolest seasons that combine sci-fi and Power Rangers into one of the coolest things that we've got. And we've got some good versus evil right here. We've got, let's start down here with the Psycho Rangers. Give these guys some love, everybody. Give it up for Michael Mays. Wally Wingert. Patrick David. That's it, guys. And representing Power Rangers in Space, the Silver Ranger, Justin Nemo. Nemo. I had to take the distinct shot of that one, and I had to take that one. And of course, the Red Ranger, Christopher Kamen-Lee, everybody. That's it. More applause for the guy who killed Zordon. Yes.
He asked him to do it.
And let's not forget the wonderfully evil Astronema and the wonderful Big Ranger, Melody Perkins. And the awesome Green Ranger, Richie Rowley, everybody. All right, guys, it's an honor to have you all with us. I'm glad you guys are here. Power Rangers in Space and Power Rangers Lost Galaxy came to us at a time where Power Rangers was breaking new ground. And it was super cool, super high budget, and super different than anything that had come before. So I'm glad that you guys could all join us on this little adventure. And it's very cool. I'm going to start down here, though, with Reggie. Give it up for Reggie. Now, Reggie, it is good to have you with us here on the East Coast at this convention. It's good to have you back at a RangerStop event. It's really a lot of fun. What have you been up to lately? And, yeah, just anything.
First time at RangerStop.
Yeah.
We love you, Reggie.
Hey! Yeah, you know what? I've just been really busy. Family things, a lot of traveling, and you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. I do want to say this though. I met people tonight from different countries and from all over the place, and I just want to say thank you all for coming out here. I think that's really cool to have that way that Power Rangers has a following like that worldwide. Just give yourselves a hand. Get your hands.
This is a great fan base to be a part of. There you go. Where's your spandex? You didn't wear your spandex.
You know what? I didn't bring them this time.
That's all right.
Next time. Next time.
It's always next time.
Really?
All right.
Wrong season.
Oh my gosh. And Melody, it's an absolute pleasure to have you back with us at RangerStop.
You're such a good moderator.
Thank you. I just try to pander to the people here. You know. No, you guys are fantastic. I'm super glad. This mic is a little low, but that's
low.
All right.
No.
That's all right. I'll just talk really loud. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah. Oh God, not again.
This is really cool. I like this. This is the live element of it. There's still people coming in anyway. It's fine. Now, guys, I just want you all to know, don't be alarmed. She's going to have to run and take photos at one point, but she's going to come back if she can. So, we just want to make sure that throw you under the gun like that.
Are you going to run in heels?
She'll walk comfortably and casually to the photo opportunity and then return to the house. But yeah. So, welcome back to RangerStop.
Thank you.
Glad you're here.
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so glad. I'm glad that you're happy. I'm happy you're happy. It's great.
Awesome.
This is why I like to come to the table before I talk to the people. But it's really good to see you.
Thank you.
You're awesome. Astronomer is my favorite. You probably is too. I don't know. You guys like Astronomer? That was another first thing for Power Rangers, though. The villains were always kind of, I mean, they're all wonderful people, but they didn't have the backstory and the depth that started with you. And so you kind of brought that human element to the bad guys and made us want to enjoy that as well. And so thank you for doing that. Yeah.
It was an honor.
Oh, well, the honor is ours as the fans, too. Chris.
Yep.
What's up? You having a good time so far at RangerStop this year?
Yeah,
I'm
having a great time.
You guys, Christopher Kamen-Lee is no stranger to us here with RangerStop, and we are lucky to have him back here.
Out of 7 RangerStops, he's been here 8 times.
Give it up for Melody, guys. She'll be right back as soon as she can.
She won't be back. Her line's going to be too long.
I wanted to go myself. But
We were taking pictures in there before she got here. And
yeah, she missed out on that too. But yeah, Justin, welcome back to.
oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's great.
I come to Florida for the warmth.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
No one should fall in love.
Welcome everybody. Kick back and relax. Very, very cool. And then we got these guys, Patrick.
Yes.
David, what is up, my friend?
Oh, gosh, how are you?
Doing well, doing well. You having a good time in Orlando?
I am. I went to Disney World.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, there you go. Season passes.
Oh, there you go.
That's it. If you're Floridian, you've probably been around.
Yeah, we have Disneyland where I'm from, but this is.
I don't know. I like both. It's tough to choose a favorite. Wally right here, an accomplished voice actor. Give it up for Wally. Thank you, everybody.
How's everybody?
Very good.
That's all I got. I got nothing else. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Very cool. And then Michael, is it Mays? Is it like the corn? Is that what you say? Michael Mays.
Hello.
Awesome. We got some cool Psycho Rangers in the house. We got some good, a whole good team up of Rangers and people here, but we might have questions from the audience, right, guys? So if you have a question for these guys, I would like you to raise your hand right now if you have a question. Is it a lot of people? Is it some people? Oh, well, you know what? I think number one right here. Sir, yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say that I'm a big fan of all of you guys. You're really tall and you have lots of voices. You're good looking. I like your saber thing, and green's a great color. Your helmet kind of looks like that one guy. JFDF. There was a pretty girl here earlier. And I thank all of the fans for coming out and the cosplayers and stuff. And I had a question, but I forgot what it was. I got nervous.
He gets nervous.
That's all right, guys. It's, you know, does anybody else have a question for any of these guys so far to start things out? Well, this young one does. How you doing? Good, thank you.
What is your favorite Megazord in Power Rangers besides your own?
That's not a hard question.
The one that dug the hole in the ground? I like the one that shot lasers and stuff. The one that was like a robot. That was good. Had people inside of its head.
I get it. That is a good question.
I like the one that transforms into a fire truck. That's my favorite.
That's a cool
There you
one,
go.
yeah.
Oh, did I get the wrong show? I'm sorry.
What's up, right? What's your favorite?
Yeah, exactly. What is your favorite there, guy?
I like the Beast Morphin.
I think you said Power Rangers in Space.
I'm pretty sure you said
Galaxy Megazord, you're right. No, yeah, Beast Morphers is cool. We got so many generations of cool stuff and cool tech. And aren't you happy that, Justin, like when you retire, you can watch all these episodes back? It'll be great.
I haven't stopped.
Yeah,
I haven't started either, but I haven't stopped.
but you're happy. That's really, really cool. And it's neat. Now, Reg, you guys got to do the team up with them coming back. And that was kind of the first time that it happened in that respect, having the full two sets of teams. And Reggie, from your perspective as a current at the time Ranger, what was it like to have the other team back? And then maybe Chris, I know you were Justin, I'm sorry, but and then Chris, how was it from your perspective going back?
You want to start?
Sure.
You go ahead.
I thought, honestly, it was one of my favorite episodes because when there's a time when all of I'd say the majority of the Space Rangers appear up really high on a building or something like that. And we're like, look! And then we all come together to bring the heat. It was
You gotta
like,
say your line. I remember your line.
it was pretty epic, I have to say.
About 6 of us. No, you said?
Oh yeah, that's
About
right.
6 of us.
That's
They go,
right.
how about 10 of us?
Yeah, that was like really cool, and I think we set a tone because then they start doing these sort of combined casts going forward, like because we ended up doing one with the cast after us too. So
Yeah.
we kind of set a new like a little trend.
Yeah, that was like, that was precedent that was set. It was one season ends, the next one starts to some point. They meet up and do something together.
Yeah.
The next one, so on
And,
and so forth.
and the audience likes it, you know,
Yeah.
prove that they liked it, and so,
So
we,
glad they brought me back for some stuff.
yeah.
Still waiting on that now.
I know, yeah. Can we turn the blue one down just a hair?
Are you wearing green lipstick over there?
Thank you.
I love it. I love it, and I love it. Yes!
That's it right there.
Okay, sorry.
Very cool.
Oh, hey!
This is fun, you guys. It's not even his fault anymore. Joe's coming in from the other side. It's great. It's all right, man. Joe's Someone said that. Someone said that. All right, guys. Well, as we come down here, Joe's got. There you go. Hey, up for Joe, everybody! Sorry. I didn't even want to go think about touching it. I figured you knew what to do better than me. One job. Actually, to be fair, Joe has about 47 jobs, and they're all taking place at the exact same time. Let me talk to these psycho guys down here for a minute, though. A couple of you had the distinct pleasure, let's say, of unmorphing on the show. Right? Morphing, yeah. Morphing, or yeah, you got to be in human form and then regular form, which is kind of neat. So, what was that like? Did you wish that there was more to your character? Did you wish you had more opportunity? I say we could have done a whole series for you.
I think we were, well, I just remember we were cast. I was cast for one episode. I was cast for the one episode that we actually morphed. And then after that, I found out that, oh yeah, you're going to be doing voices for 6 other episodes. Which was really exciting. And I had never done voiceovers before, so I all of a sudden was in a strange room with lots of pads and being told to make voices while we watched this thing on the screen. I remember when we turned into like the mega monster forms, I just had like no idea, and they were like, just think back to when you were little playing like monsters in the backyard and make some crazy voice. And I was like, okay. Like,
It worked.
it was so much fun, yeah.
Now, Wally, you came at it as a voice actor. That was pretty much your profession, your trade, right?
That's all I've been doing pretty much for 22 years. I've done some on-camera stuff, but under protest. I don't really, because I don't look like these guys. I have a face made for voiceover, so that's kind of my field of expertise. But I realized after watching these things, my friend Brandon gave me the episodes, and I also, as soon as that big owl creature that they're fighting at the beginning, one of the episodes, I'm like, oh yeah, that guy too. Woo, woo, ah! And I was like, oh yeah. See, I used to do all that stuff when I was a kid, and my folks used to say, shut up, keep it down in there. And now they're, no, keep going, keep making the money. So yeah, keep yelling and screaming, making funny noises. So that was, I was cast only as like a voiceover guy by Scott Page Pactor at the time, and I said, oh, Power Rangers, yeah, that should be kind of cool. And then I also did Wild Force Red in one of the video games, so that was my 2
Oh, nice.
Power Rangers.
Double the Ranger Power, right?
Yeah, I got to play good. Is Wild Force Red good? I think he was a good guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he was a
He's
good
gonna be
guy.
good and bad. So that's pretty awesome. So I got both. It's kind of like I got to be Ant-Man in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I get to be the Riddler in the Arkham universe. So I get to be.
That is so neat. Yeah, I wanted to mention that. Yeah, the Riddler in the Arkham.
Yes, the Riddler. Riddle me this, you cowled clod. It is I, the Riddler.
Anybody play that game? No? Did you get all the trophies?
No.
Suck it.
You did? You got all the trophies? All right, stand up, take a bow, Trophy Man.
Yeah, go.
All right, go to Trophy Man. You got them all.
In a few minutes.
How easy to do. And I got to actually be Batman for a toy.
There you go.
Which is funny. You know
What's that story?
Well, the Batman toy that you buy used to be Toys R Us, where you squeeze the legs and the little thing comes up and fires on. It goes,
I am the knight.
so I got to be that. So we'll just sound like Kevin Conroy. I'm like,
There you go. I would
okay.
get to channel your
I initially wanted to do Adam West, and they said, no.
I am the knight. Catwoman, where is the Joker?
They can do more of those animated movies.
You guys are probably, I did a comedy thing for the first time ever the other night. There's a voiceover thing in Burbank there where it's, we talk funny. It's all voiceover people doing comedy for the first Monday night. And you guys are probably, you know who William Shatner is. And you know who Adam West is. I thought it'd be really funny in 1968, after both their shows had been canceled, if they were at an audition together, auditioning for a new show.
Why, hello, Bill, my old friend. How are you?
I'm fine. Adam, you look fantastic.
You look good too, Bill. Your toupee looks real. Almost. What have you been doing, my friend Bill?
I've been gallivanting around the galaxy, seeing the universe from
Klingons, and you, what have you been doing? I've been gallivanting around Gotham City, saving the citizens from the likes of the Joker, the Riddler, and Catwoman. I'd love to be a fly on the wall. You know they had a love child, Adam West and William Shatner. They dated. Their love child, Patrick Warburton. Go national. Go like a pro.
It's all there.
Orlando Comic Club next weekend. Kevin.
That autograph price just tripled right there for that.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. Let me throw it to Justin really quickly here.
Justin.
Oh. You want to answer Justin's question?
You might know it better than me.
I was going to say that Justin, as a sixth ranger, you spent, as far as sixth rangers go, not too much time on the show because you would be gone. How many episodes, if you remember, were you actually part of? And if you don't remember, that's okay.
No, I want to say 16, 18. Down to Hut. 11 and a half. I was
10 episodes, that's all. Well, even if it was 10 episodes, let's think about how memorable he made those 10 episodes, right, guys?
10 episodes have their own Zord. A good guy, a bad guy, dated a good girl.
And wore a pretty good clown
friend's
suit.
girl. His friend calls because he thought he was dating his girl.
Oh, I think.
Or how many suits?
Yeah.
Or my suit?
You have the silver. Oh, it is silver, yeah. There you go. You still have the spandex?
Jealous when I thought I had Ashley when I was doing the telekinesis.
You remember?
Oh, yeah, you remember. Never forget.
Awesome. Does anybody out here have any questions for our panel, our friends here? Anything you wanted to ask? Oh, I see a hand up in the front row. Let's get this thing going.
One hand up.
What's going on?
I got a question.
Talk loud.
Okay. So, did any of you get to do any actual stunts during the filming process?
I did two. When Melody blew me up. Careful.
Oh, I know.
Audience, children.
They wanted me to be like smoking or whatever, so I literally had to like smoke a cigarette, blow it out, and they're like, we're gonna have to pay you extra for that. And then the time when we thought the psychos were dead, and I get back on the ship, and I'm trying to scare Chris, and I wear the red suit and freak him out, and I got to do the flip. I had to beg to do the flip. So they didn't let me do much, but I mean there was some of the other people that got hurt, like Tracy.
Soon.
Tracy got hurt, but not she didn't break anything. I think she just sprayed some. Yeah, pretty sure. Did you do stuff?
Yeah, I did everything.
I
did all my stuff except for whatever was gymnastics, like
So pretty much anything when the helmet was on.
pretty much.
Yeah, every time the helmet was on, it wasn't Chris, which was most of the time. Chris didn't. Jack. You still can't do it. You want to argue? We're going to fight about it right now. We're going to fight. We'll fight. He wins.
I tripped over the welcome mat on the way to the voiceover studio.
That's how you got the high pitched voices.
Yeah, we did some stunts. I would say the majority of the stunts we did not do, but we had a pretty athletic cast. We did a lot of our stunts. I did get burned once in an episode, which was fun. The pyro was supposed to go that direction, and then when I get destroyed with this monster comes and hits me, something went wrong with that pyro because
Show them the scar, right?
when I was like, that was real. That was like, so it was.
You really sold that.
I didn't have the back for that. That was real. But it was fun. The stunt part of it was really cool.
I wish that we would have been able to do all the cables and stuff when they're flying around. Man, that looks so cool. You guys do that? Yeah. Jealous. Next time be a red guy. I'm going that.
Anyone else have a question? I got some hands up. I saw some. No. Well, if there's one, shy. No reason to be shy. We got a good group of people here.
So when the Cyber Rangers did the voiceovers, were they in the room with other people interacting with them, or were they kind of on their own and you had to interact with whatever was just going on?
When I did it, it was just me and the voice director, and that's pretty much it. I worked with Michael 2 days. Never saw him again until a few hours ago. Seriously, a few hours ago. Very strange. And pleasure first time meeting him, but no, I had no, I don't know, who was in your room, just you, right?
Yeah.
It's well, there's a difference between like for example, a Family Guy or Garfield show or whatever. That's done ensemble style with a full cast in a semicircle. Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, all that stuff. But if you're doing a video game or you're doing ADR or looping or dubbing, like what this show was, it's just you. Where it's us for one guy or one girl for an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever. We do our stuff. They get all of our loops, as they call them, and then somebody else comes in and they get all of their loops and they get all their. But they put it all together. It makes it sound like we're all in the same room together, which is the genius of the voice director, because they all have the idea of how the puzzle is eventually going to fit together, and they know how to direct you because they know what the next line is after you and how that's going to sound. So in order to make it sound all cohesive, it relies on a really good voice director. And Scott Page Factor was the voice director at the time, and he was really good at figuring that out. You did all this stuff a lot too, right?
Yeah. And so they filmed it ahead of time, and so we were watching the guys in the suits, do that, and that, and so you're just matching your lines to how they're moving their bodies. Yes.
We would see each other like as I'd be leaving, Danny would be coming in, or Serena would be coming in, and I'd be leaving. ADR was fun out there because you get to do all the
And no one's watching. You'd be all crazy.
It's fun. I have a question for these two guys. Because I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about how it was for us too when we passed on the torch. So when the Galaxy Rangers were coming in, what was your opinion of because I would see you sometimes in the office.
I saw him in the office too.
Upstairs, and I would see, the building where Scott's stuff was, and I'd see you upstairs, and Susie would be in that one room, and I've always wondered, what was your opinion of us, when you just see us walking around with the strangers?
Get run over by a train.
Because you were kind of quiet, you were nice but quiet,
that was Claudia. There was no need for you guys to be there. No. We took care of everything once. We're not going to do it again. Why did you need to show up?
I just always wondered because,
you look good.
when we were in that same position, sometimes I would sit in on the castings. Just Iris would let me sit in on them.
Really?
And so it was interesting to watch, So you did like this? Yeah, it was interesting.
No, we were getting a paycheck.
Yeah, we had you come in and we don't get a paycheck. That's like, how would you feel if somebody was to come in and take your, well now you're married, but if it was your girlfriend?
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are acting like I didn't go through the same thing.
No, we went through it before you did.
We went through it before you did.
Yeah. So anyway.
Anyways.
Well, that's a great topic.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
You ever have the episodes on around you and you hear the morpher go off and you just look down real quick and you're like, oh.
Chris, you sleep in one of those morphers, don't you?
Of course. Yeah.
It's kind of like a life alert bracelet.
Yeah.
I
Does it take it on the
I made it crazy. But I believe the answer was probably no. Is that right?
Yeah.
It would be nice to have your own personal alpha.
It would, right?
Yeah.
It is. I got Siri.
I mean, I guess you have Siri. You have Alexa.
Actually, my Siri is an Australian guy. I got
An Australian
a
guy?
girl yell at me all the time. Turn left. Turn left. And I'm going to a different voice.
So we were ahead of the time because really alpha is Alexa.
Yes. like Back to the Future, you know, they always comes out on Back to the Future, finally shows up. It's true. What time? Stuff like that. It's all there. Next to Wayne Check.
Anyone else have any questions though, guys? Oh, I see one in the back right here. We're gonna start back this way. Good. Talk loud into the mic.
Was there a storyline or a theme that you guys wanted in that never got in?
Tell them about the clothing optional scene.
I always thought that since I started dating or seeing whatever you want to call that, astronomer who turned into be a crone, that when she went to the next season to become a Power Ranger, it only made sense. I go there with her and make babies. Well, I just thought that'd be a good reason to have a new season of Power Rangers because we make new Power Rangers.
Coming soon to Fox, Ranger Babies.
It's kind of the next generation. I think I see where you're going with it. Yeah. Completely wholesome.
Yeah.
Upstanding.
It's like every 3-year-old I know is automatically a psycho ranger because the terrible threes. They're all psycho.
Just the nature of it. Crazy. Anyone else? Oh, right here up front. Great costume, by the way.
Thank you very much. From one shiny head person to another.
Well, at least me out.
Were you and Amy together during the scene where you and Danny were, I guess, like in prison, I guess, or whatever?
You
Y'all
mean
talking
we were like hanging up right now?
Yeah, and y'all talk about how hot she was, Trakina. Were you and Amy actually together then, or did y'all get together afterwards?
Oh, that's an interesting one. I would say, if my memory serves me right, I would say that we were together at that point. I think. Yeah. Good question. Here's something I want to ask. Good question, thank you. I think there needs to be a Forever Green.
Yeah.
No offense. No offense.
I think that's actually covered under the Green New Deal. I think that's part of it, actually.
There should be a Forever Green situation. Just a thought. What do I know?
It works for me, though. To piggyback on that, though, Reg, you, as far as people look, you did come back the most recent in Power Rangers Super Mega Force. Yeah. So that was what was that like when they selected a handful of you to come out there?
Yeah.
And you were one of the 5 or 6 that said yes to it. I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It was fun. It was kind of an emotional situation because I hadn't seen Danny, my Red Ranger Leo. I hadn't seen him. I mean, since the days of the show. Some of the directors and producer people that were there, I hadn't seen them. So it was almost like a mini family reunion. It was at times it was emotional for us, but it was amazing. Going to New Zealand was really fun, and they didn't want us to talk about it, but the group of us would be out like having coffee or going to dinner, and why is Reggie and Jason Font and Jason Frank, why are all these people together at the same time? Like, so it was fun. It was a special time. I think it would have been better if it were like a 2-hour situation, like two hour-long episodes, because it could have been so cool.
There was just a lot more to do. Not anybody really got a chance to shine.
Yeah, there were so many things that they could have did, but it was an honor to be selected. It was fun.
It was good to invite.
Several people, like you said, only 5 people went, and they asked me, and now I know why you got it and I didn't. I asked for like $300 to have my hair done, but you didn't have to ask for it.
It's all put together. It's all making sense. I think I saw a hand up over in this neck of the woods. Yeah, right over here.
This is for Chris. If Tyrone and Andrus were in a Power Rangers fight with each other, who would win and why?
Really?
Bo would win. All right, how about this? Andros would win because I said so. And because I wanted to win. So how's that? That's it's a very evenly matched fight, so I mean I can't sit here and say, oh, clearly this one.
She might scratch your eyes out.
She's tougher than she looks like. Tougher than she acts.
Speaking of, where is she? Somebody go get her.
Good question, I know. We'll go here, here, and here. Here we go.
Hi guys, it's wonderful to meet you all. Big fan of the series as much as all of us are. Has a huge impact on my childhood as much as a lot of us. So I want to thank all of you, including the Second Rangers, of course. Can't forget some of the coolest villains in the entire series. So my question to all of you guys is, did you guys have any like real-time favorite moments on set from your individual seasons, whether it was physically on set, even in that voice acting studio, where you really just sat there and said, wow, this is the realest moment that I am a Power Ranger, that I'm gonna have that I may have an impact on a lot of people's lives?
I just started because of the pros here.
I'll start it.
Okay.
Are we talking about situations that have impacts on people's lives? We met a lot of Make-A-Wish kids, and there was one in particular. This little guy was from Australia, and he flew all the way over there to meet the Green Ranger, and it was pretty cool. I mean, we were in the middle of shooting, and then to stop and meet his family, those type of moments were cool. I would say one of the special moments for me on the show was the night before our first episode aired. We all had a slumber party at Danny's house because we wanted to wake up together and see our show together for the first time. I will never forget that because we were like siblings, literally. We were like brother and sister, and so to wake up and see yourself for the first time on the show after shooting it for months, that was special. And I'm sorry I'm going on and on, but also I know a lot of you guys know that Valerie she got ill during the show, and so there were some serious moments personally with her, like going to the hospital and going through all of that with her. So I think our season was really special, and I know that In Space started something that sort of changed the way Power Rangers was on TV, and to be able to continue that sort of with the special effects and the way our storyline and everything. So I feel like, the Space Lost Galaxy time period was special just within the Power Rangers overall franchise. I know like the originals with Jason David Frank and Angel, I know those guys are the godfathers and paved the way, but I think that, if this were like about music or the Grammy Awards or something, like you gotta put us with like Prince, Michael, we're with those people too. That's just my opinion. Like if there was a Hall of Fame for Power Rangers, you gotta put it in Space and Lost Galaxy. Yes. Just saying.
I remember one time when I was, it was shortly after the show started airing, I don't know, maybe like a month after it started airing. I lived right near where the show was shot. It was called Santa Clarita. I lived up there. And, just something that really kind of clued me in on like how big or important or whatever it was, the show. I went out one night just to grab something to eat, and I was just like standing there waiting for it, and like 2 or 3 kids that were like roughly my age. I think I was like 20, and they were like they looked like they would be like 18 or something like that. They walked in and they're like, "Oh my God, you're the guy from Power Rangers!" And I was just like, "Wow, how the hell do you know who I am?" So I don't know. It was really trippy for me. I've never had that happen before. Now that doesn't happen as much. What about you?
Can you repeat the question?
Don't repeat the question.
Off your Instagram.
Pay attention. I'm trying to show you something. So yes, run down the question again, just so I know I answer it completely.
Throughout your time in the show, was there just a big moment where it really became surreal that, oh my God, Power Rangers has such an impact on the fans and on what would later be in your life?
most likely would be, I'll tell you exactly how long ago this was. Hold on. No, I have something. Chris, it's actually your picture on it, so shut up. 3 years, 7 months, and 5 days ago.
That's a good picture.
So, after the show was over, I didn't know there was Comic-Cons. I had no idea Power Rangers was, to be honest, still on television. So, Chris had called me up and he's like, hey, I'm coming to town, why don't we hook up? And I was like, wow, yeah, it's been forever, cool, let's hook up. And we started talking a little bit more, and then he was like, so I'm gonna meet at this comic book store, and I was like, okay, that's cool, I guess, if you want me to meet there. I'm not really into comic books. And then he goes, hey, any chance you can maybe print off a couple of pictures? I was like, for what? He was slowly getting me into like coming to this comic book store and doing a Comic-Con with him. Yeah. So that's when it like started, and then I realized there was a ton of Power Ranger fans, and it was a huge thing, and it was worldwide, and it was awesome. That's exactly meant right there.
Thank you.
A little bit more quick, but yeah, it's kind of similar to him. I just started doing Comic-Cons last year, and I honestly I knew I did the Power Rangers show, but I really didn't think much about it afterwards. And I got invited to do the con, and I'm like, wow, I was just like a guest star a little bit. After showing up and doing a few of these and hearing the stories from the fans about how they loved our Psycho Rangers and what it meant to them, and then the toys came out and the comics and stuff, and I'm just hearing other stories about how they thought that we kind of had a positive impact. I'm like, really, we're the villains, but I thought you would hate us. They didn't hate us; they loved us, and I don't know, I'm just surprised, and just that's the moment we started last year.
So cool.
I got nothing.
Yeah. Repeat the question for Melody.
Oh, hi.
Awesome. The question was, in this case, what was the one moment in like your time since Power Rangers that you discovered this was something huge? This was something that might have an effect on your life for the rest of your life. It's basically that.
Since doing the show, I would say it was my first con. It was Power Morphicon in Pasadena. It was amazing. I had no idea. I had no idea when I was doing the show that it was what it was. And when I got to, and people kept kind of emailing about these conventions, and I was like, and then finally showed up, and it was incredible. It is. It's the stories that you guys tell us, and it's coming from, South Africa and the UK and Brazil to say hi, and that is what keeps me so happy, and it reminds me how important this was.
That answer was worth waiting for, I think. That's great.
Alright, so since Melody's back, now we're gonna ask this question. For you, Chris, and Justin, if in space, if they let the story continue, would you have let Zane be in a relationship with Corona?
First of all, what's up with the glasses? Wait.
They're prescriptions, so.
Oh, okay.
I guarantee you, it was not up to me. When it came down to the show, we leave that up to Chip, and whatever he writes down, that's what we do.
But hypothetically.
No! Never!
That was
kind of nice.
He's my dog. I think we make a great couple. What do you guys think?
I feel like our schedules would have conflicted.
No.
Fair enough. Not too shabby. Melody, how was the photo thing? Was it good?
Oh, it was quick. It was good.
He's
Yeah.
in and out. It was really fun.
Yeah,
Glad you made it back
awesome.
and joined us for a while here. Question for you that you probably get often. You know, Astronema versus Corona, or Astronema versus the Pink Ranger. When you were Astronema, did you think, I would like to be a Power Ranger one day? The circumstances being what they were that brought you into the show as a Power Ranger was kind of unique. And I just wondered if you had any insight on any of that time period that you would want to share with the audience.
I loved being Astronema. It was really challenging for me. I was definitely cast against type. I don't even know why they cast me. It was really enjoyable and challenging, and I loved that I got to have glimpses of me in normal form in space. I had no idea that I would be brought back, of course. The circumstances were very difficult, but Lost Galaxy, the cast was so supportive and welcoming, and it was really exciting to bring that story around full circle. I was very honored to join them, and they're amazing. So, and what's even better is that Valerie is doing so well, and she's thriving. So it's a great story.
So it was great.
I have a question for Astronomer. What do you think about you coming back in the Psychopath novel?
Oh my God, I'm obsessed.
I know, right?
Like I keep looking at I haven't read it yet. I just got a copy of it, and I just got it. I didn't even have it the first time I saw a picture of you with it, and I was like, oh.
You're on the cover. You and this guy on the cover.
Yeah, so I just kind of keep looking at it. Like I have it in my house, and I'm like, oh, it's so cool.
So strange.
I think so.
I love it.
They did a good job like drawing each of us in there.
Yeah.
You can literally look at her picture and go, that's her picture. That's him.
I've never even read a comic book until that comic came out.
Yeah, the
my
book
first time
comics have
reading.
done great things.
My first time
for all
reading a comic.
characters.
Yeah.
Definitely worth looking at. Anybody out there reading Boom Comics? Everybody? Some?
Have you guys read this one?
Very
Yeah.
cool.
And he has his fluffy hair and
Yeah.
They call it
Is the
fluffy.
story good? Is it surprising?
It is. Yeah, my mouth dropped open.
Wow.
Yeah. Certain things that you did. And you bit me.
So am I.
But that's neat. I think it's cool to see that even after a little bit of time has gone by, you can bring your characters back in these other mediums, in these other forms. You're looking, hey, here's Astronema, here's Carone doing something in a comic book so many years after you were thinking about it. So.
Oh, I feel like that's the power of on demand, right? It's Netflix, it's streaming.
And that's the way, yeah.
And every time it's so, gosh, I'm so humbled, honestly. Like it's the fans that keep this thing so amazing.
I think another thing to go along with Power Rangers in Space and Lost Galaxy, Reggie, you hit it on the head earlier. It was something special that whole time period. I think the serialization of the show lends itself better to now. When we would watch it every week and be like, oh, there's new Power Rangers. But if we can just watch the entire season on Netflix in about 6 hours, just keep it running, that really gives you that chance to reconnect. And I'm sure you've probably got new fans that probably weren't even born when you were the Green Ranger.
We don't need to talk about all that.
Just say that.
Yeah. No, it's cool to be able to see our entire season, or when someone's talking to me, I can say, yeah, it's on Netflix, and they can see the entire season.
Just point into it. Go here. Spend a couple hours. Any other questions from the audience? You would go right here in the Ranger shirt.
I got a question for Wally, and it's not Ranger related at all. I'm sorry. Any chance?
Yes. His interest.
Would you be able to say if, by any chance, he'd be depicting 66 Riddler anytime soon?
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, well. No, now that Adam, the question was, would I be doing the Frank Gorshin Riddler? I have two Riddlers, the Arkham Riddler and also the Frank Gorshin Riddler in the last two animated feature films that Adam West did before he passed away. The producer, James Tucker, has indicated that since Adam has passed, it probably would not be appropriate to have someone else slip into that. Patrick Warburton, his illegitimate son, notwithstanding. Yeah, now that Adam's gone, it's probably not going to happen. But boy, it sure was. Well, I knew Adam. Well, I knew Adam for 37 years. I met him in 1980. I was a DJ in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And he said, Wally, move to Los Angeles. And I did, and he helped me, and we were good friends for 37 years. And we both were on Family Guy together, which was amazing.
if somebody would have told me in 1980, you know, you're going to be in Adam West's 2 final films, I would have said you're crazy. But to get to be not one but 2 villains in those films, as the Frank Gorshin Riddler, and also King Tut, and also have a scene with William Shatner. Of course, we recorded separately, so they weren't actually physically in the room. But just to see the scene with Adam, you know, Batman talking to the Riddler, and you know, Shatner talking to King Tut, was a dream come true for a young kid who used to watch all those shows. To now actually be, in voice anyway, sharing the screen with those 2 guys. But I love doing the Frank Gorshin Riddler! Gorshin had been to my house before, and he knew he was dying of emphysema, and he had 1/2 a cigarette left, which ended up, you know, killing kids. Don't smoke, whatever you do. And he said, "Anybody got a cigarette?" I was like, "Sorry, Frank, we're all allergic." "Oh, okay." So we threw the box away, but I kept the empty cigarette box, and I still have it in my collection. But I was missing Frank and looking at this thing for the audition, and I'm like, I gotta try and lock into him. And he was an impersonator, the master impersonator. And I'm trying to figure out who is he impersonating as the Riddler. There's a cadence in there that's like, he's locking it. Now, he admitted that the Riddler laugh, which goes, was taken from Richard Widmark in some movie where he was pushing some lady in a wheelchair down the stairs and maniacally laughing. But I can't lock into who he's doing as the actual Riddler voice with the strange cadence Batman. I never could lock into that, but it's a little Kirk Douglas, but it's a little Burt Lancaster. There's a lot of different, we call it in voiceover hybridization, where you take a little Groucho Marx, but you put a little Peter Fonda in it. It's weird. But the King Tut, which was in the second movie, was a lot of fun because everybody loves Victor Buono as King Tut. Yes, my Tutlings, spit it up! I don't know if you remember Victor Buono, but he was enormous. And you have to sound very fat when you do a voice like that. Oh dear, oh my, oh. Because Victor Buono as the character King Tut would also get conked on the head and turn into the professor. So it was 2 very different characters. Oh dear boys, please, do not protest. No, that's not the way to do things. Then he'd get conked to the head. I'm King Tut, bow before me, Tutlings. So it was really a lot of fun to do that. But yeah, I'm sorry, that was a long answer. But the short answer is probably not going to be any more 66 Batman animated films now that Adam's passed. So thank you.
That was great, Noel. So
If you want us to go back to our tables later, don't ask him any more questions.
That's it. Wally's going to have a show for the rest of the night here, guys. Speaking of that, though, guys, Justin mentioned the tables, and all of these guys are going to be around for the weekend, and you're going to be able to see some of them. Unfortunately, it's my job to let us know that we are running out of time at this point.
My fault, sorry.
Always one of those things. But if any of you on the panel have any final thoughts or things you'd like to say to the audience, please feel free.
Yeah, I want to put you guys on camera. Can we do that?
Anyone else? Melody? Put you on the spot?
I just want to say thank you guys for coming. It's such an honor to have you guys here and tell us your stories and how this franchise has impacted you. Not to be all woo and sentimental, but thank you.
Tables, and you are welcome to go say hi.